Now, I got a story right here that's not about me, but I thought it was very interesting and I wanted to share it. And it's a story about when Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Bam Bam Bigelow were traveling by car from the Cow Palace in San Francisco in the mid 90s to actually, they were traveling from the Arco Arena heading down south after they already had did a show the night before at the Cow Palace in Frisco, and now had just did a show at the Arco Arena in Sacramento. And they had stopped at a Circle K just outside of the Arco Arena in a subdivision there, very close to the Arco Arena, to get some beer. And it was Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Bam Bam Bigelow, and they were in this Chrysler. And they went inside the store. And Kevin Nash said when they were in the store, they were making their way to the back, to the cooler, to get their beer. But as they were making their way back there, they noticed that there was a gang of Mexicans in there. Of course, they had to be Norteños, right? Northerners. He said, Nash was like, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I'm street smart. I could tell these guys were gang members. They were gang bangers. He said they had their Pendletons on, their Dickies. He said they had their white T-shirts and they were tatted, tatted all up. And he said they got to the cooler and the guys were kind of in the way, and Nash and Hall couldn't get to the beer that they wanted. So Kevin Nash asked one of them, hey, you know what kind of beer you guys are going to grab? And one of the homeboys said, nah, we're waiting for the other homie to come in real quick so we can figure out what we're going to get. And Kevin Nash was like, well, do you mind letting me and my partner here through so we can get us our Miller Lite? And one of the homies was like, he told Nash, why you guys drinking Miller Lite? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of funny they be drinking Miller Lite. And Kevin Nash was like, well, we got to keep our, our nice womanly figures somehow. And he said Scott Hall chimed in as well, and they were all laughing and joking around, whatever. They grabbed their Miller Lite and went to one of the cashiers. And if you've ever seen a Circle K, they have, in those days, the cashiers kind of were like one here and there'd be one like on the other side, you know what I mean? So they went to the nearest cashier and they're standing in a line right there. And Bam Bam Bigelow had got his beer and went to the furthest cashier. And he's standing right there, and there's a homeboy that was with these dudes, with these homeboys, with these gangbangers, Mexican gangbangers, standing behind Bam Bam Bigelow, and he tells Bam Bam Bigelow, hey, them tattoos on your head hurt? And Bam Bam Bigelow says, nah, all you gotta do is not be a fucking pussy and just be a man. And the dude, the homeboy behind Bam Bam Bigelow, then replies and says, hey, you're that wrestler guy, huh? And Bam Bam Bigelow says, no, I'm a serial killer. And the homeboy behind Bam Bam then replies to Bam Bam Bigelow, oh, so what, you be killing Kellogg's or what? And Bam Bam Bigelow says, no, I be killing, and he inserted a derogatory comment pertaining to Mexicans, Latinos, or whatever. He basically said, no, I kill spics. Well, Scott Hall and Nash caught that and were looking at each other like, what the hell is this guy doing? Well, Bigelow paid for his beer, went outside. Nash and Hall paid for their beer, went outside. When they got out there, one of the homies had, as Nash put it, a semi-automatic pistol pointed right at the forehead of Bam Bam Bigelow. Nash was like, hey, man, and one of the homies was like, nah, man, this got nothing to do with you. You've been nothing but cool with us. And Nash was like, I had like something close to $200, like 180, 190 bucks, and he offered it to those guys to leave Bam Bam Bigelow alone. They were like, nah, fuck that. the homeboy that had the gun on Bigelow was like, nah, fuck that, and then commenced to pistol whip Bam Bam Bigelow in the mouth with the butt of the pistol. Nash and Hall go over to their car that was parked in reverse next to the Circle K, on the side of Circle K. Kevin Nash said they like to pull in reverse in a lot of these places to get away from marks. If you don't know what a wrestling mark is, that's like basically a wrestling fan that kind of goes overboard and, you know, goes overboard when he meets a wrestler, you know, just fucking marks out, as they say, you know, like basically becomes like, you know, like a fucking groupie and on the nuts and won't leave them alone. So they always park in reverse wherever they went to be able to smash out fairly fast, pull out, you know, going forward. So Nash says they got to the car and he backed all the way up as far as he could because all the homeboys, the Mexican cats that just pistol whipped Bam Bam Bigelow, were sitting at the exit of the parking lot. And Nash was driving. He wanted to build up enough speed to where he was doing at least 50 miles an hour when he hit that exit, because he felt, he said, as he said, they were going to Mac 10 the Chrysler they were in. And if they did, he hoped that they only shot into the back seat where Bam Bam Bigelow was. So Nash says he hauls ass out of the parking lot of the Circle K and he's smashing through this subdivision. Bam Bam Bigelow tells Nash from the back seat, he tells Kevin Nash, hey, slow down. You don't want to get pulled over by a cop, do you? Kevin Nash's reply was like, motherfucker, that's exactly what I hope happens right now. Because, you know, Nash and Hall are fucking scared. They think they're about to get shot up by these motherfuckers because of what Bam Bam Bigelow did. So as they got down the road and now they made it to the Interstate 5, they knew that they were safe now. Scott Hall tells Kevin Nash from the passenger seat, hey, pull this fucking thing over right now. Pull this fucking car over right now. So Nash pulls over. Scott Hall, my bad, I've been working all day, I'm tired. Scott Hall turns around and cuts a promo basically on Bam Bam Bigelow. And if you know what Nash meant by that, means he tore into his ass. And he tells Bam Bam Bigelow, if I ever hear you again mention that you're from Asbury Park, New York, or Long Island, wherever the hell you're from, you ain't shit. You're just a fat motherfucker with tattoos. And when we get to the next town, your ass is out of the car and you're never riding with us again. So this happens in the 90s sometime. Bam Bam Bigelow got pistol whipped at a Circle K in Sacramento, just outside of the Arco Arena, by some Norteño homie for calling a gang of Norteños Spicks and saying that he killed Spicks. Bam Bam Bigelow was a tough motherfucker, but he was no match for the homies up in Northern California. So if you hadn't seen that story, Kevin Nash has a new podcast. It's called Click This. And that's where I saw the story at earlier. And I just thought I would share that because I thought it was funny as fuck that a homie from Northern California pistol whipped the shit out of Bam Bam Bigelow for calling Mexican Spicks and saying that he was a killer, when in reality he was a bitch because he got pistol whipped by a homie and didn't do shit about it. Oh yeah. Peace.